Greetings and salutations. Welcome to episode something something something. I'll fill it out later, and you can see Cleo is having fun with my room. Say what you want. Cats love clutter. So she is my hostess, co-hostess, Cleo. Weirdo. And where was I? Welcome to Twisted Strands. I think it's episode 136, I think. Oh dear, I do not know. I'm just gonna be weird and look it up right now, because I'm good like that. And anyway, let's see what we're up to. 136. 136. So, you like that lion brand, huh? Yeah, lion brand is the bomb, yo. I am drinking, otherwise known as this episode brought to you by Samuel Smith's Organic Chocolate Stout, which is malt beverage with natural flavor added. And yummy. Anyway, that's what it looks like. It is a freaking huge bottle, but I was on the hunt for some chocolate flavored beer. It was my birthday, and it's cold, and oh, it has a delightfully chocolatey smell. I like it. Now, the finish is a little harsh. Sometimes that happens when you pick something because of the name. But it's got a very thick mouthfeel to it. And it's extraordinarily dark. It's almost like a black sort of ale, very thick, heaty. And it gives you a cute story on the back of it. Hey, when you've got this much fucking room, you can write a book on the back of your bottle. And it does really taste a bit like chocolate, so I think this is going to be my favorite of the chocolate brews that I bought. And I did it all classy, like I went to the ShopRite wines and liquors store while I was waiting for my dad's optometrist appointment to be finished. Anyway, it's been a crazy week. I don't know if this rate says TMI, but I've been totally hormonal and a little bit and crazy and ripping my hair out. If you watch me online anywhere, like Facebook or Plurk, you'll see that I've had some uber trouble with the subscription department of my favorite magazine, which is, let's see, which is it? Simply Knitting. They're a bunch of dicks. And their website isn't very useful or easy to navigate. So I hope I get my address cleared up with it, because for some reason they don't think the house number should be in front of the street name. Why that happened, I don't know. I don't know how it got changed without my consent or doing it, so hopefully I'll get that fixed tomorrow and I will start getting issues again. So Simply Knitting is on my shit list. At least their publisher is. Oh, what else happened this week? I went to Bethlehem, PA to spend some good quality time with my friends. I have no idea where Cleo is right now. She's crazy. Anyway, I went to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It's a really unique, interesting town. I guess it's kind of like Morristown in a way that it's got its shitty areas that you don't want to be in at night, and then it's got a beautiful historic area. Hi, I see your city face. Yeah, she's crawling around over there now. Anyway, so it's got its crappy places. It's got the Moravian University in a beautiful, I love their freaking historic district, which is where one of my friends lives. I don't know if you still watch, Earl, but hi! Seeing you was such a pleasure this Saturday. I always show some pictures of the dolls. Not always my dolls, but sometimes. So, yeah, I had a really great time, and naturally when I'm over there, I want to go and at least look at what this Fabu place called the Knitter's Edge has. So, I was a bit overwhelmed because I've allowed myself to have yarn this month because it's my birthday month. I was allowing myself to buy. So I bought some huge needles. I should show you those. They are astoundingly thick. That's what she said. I've never seen them this thick in a short size before, and they were kind of what I was hoping to find. They are made by Plymouth, which is kind of what the lady who owns the place associates with. She's their designer and all that. And you can find anything Plymouth there, which is awesome. And this is their Serena Wood knitting needles, length 10 inches and US 19, which is 15 millimeters. Look at these bad boys. Is that not awesome? I'm trying to balance my knitting. I love socks, lace, knitting anyway, and all that. But why not knit with some bulky, chunky yarns? So I decided to give this a shot. I'm not sure how successful I will be with them. I don't know what I'll really use with them. Who cares? It's fun. So anyway, I purchased those needles. They were about $13, I think. So about normal. Oh, and they've got a gorgeous point. Look at that. Gorgeous. For something that thick. Hold on. I should raise my pinky when I do that, eh? Anyway, so that was the needles I bought, and I finally ended up thinking of throwing things. That would actually be an appropriate theme for today, throwing things. Simply knitting. I blame nitpicks, but it's Simply Knitting's fault that I'm angsty today. So, anyway, I picked this up from their sales section. It is some Pure by Shopper Wool. And I've worked with this before, I think, and I love it. It's almost, some say it's super bulky. I think it's just regular bulky to Aran weight. Aran to bulky. So anyway, when the lady brought this to my attention, I was like, oh, I should buy bulkier yarn then if I want to knit a cowl and color work with it. So I picked up this absolutely fabulous wool and acrylic and alpaca mix, Katia Peru. So this will be the contrast color. I believe the pattern I plan on using with that calls for DK weight, so I'll probably just adjust it to what I want it to do. Hopefully I'll be able to do that without fucking it up. That is my big yarn purchase for this month. Woo! Anyway. Oh. Finished object. I do have a small one, but it is a nice one. Remember when I started this really quick last week? It's the not man-shaped hat. It's the man-size hat, I think, I hope. It's the hat-shaped hat by Lindsay Ingram out of Lion Brand mill ends that were from their hometown line. And I'm really pleased with how this hat came out. It was really easy to make, and I'm going to make another one, I think, out of yet more super bulky yarns. The tassel was my idea, just to add a little pizzazz. So, and the color purple is a little bit more maroony than it looks in this thing. I don't know why. But yeah, lovely hat. I hope it keeps somebody homeless, working poor, or whatever warm, because everybody needs to feel compassion of a good knitted hat, or a good crocheted hat for that matter. So anyway, this is going to Emily's Hats for Hope initiative. It's run by Emily and her mom and her sister, and they are lovely people. I'm going to wash this and put it in an envelope. So that's my finished object. I'm working on another hat that's supposed to be for them, and it's the Shepherd's bulky hat. Let me see if I can... I'm doing this in Red Heart Midnight Boutique, and it's called the Shepherd's Bulky Rainbow Hat, or that's what I called it. And it's out of the One Skein Wonders, yes, I'm reading, 101 Yarn Shop Favorites, and it is by Boba Morris? B. Morris. Let's call him or her B. Morris. And I'm not even very far along with it. This is supposed to be 21 inches long, and it's not quite there. So I have a ways to go, but it's a very simple pattern, and it's been fun to knit. I just hope I don't lose sight of the fact I want to donate it this winter, not next, to Emily's Hats for Hope, or maybe Hope Hats for Hope, another organization. That's one whip that I've whipped out. Now let me show you my favorite one. I have not been working on this as much as I should. Let me grab the picture. I opened it right to the... This is my casual gray sweater. It's number 16. Oh, and I can get the information right here. It's by Sandy Prosser, and they actually recommend something for Mana Wool Classica by Manas, and I was like, screw that. I'm using Plymouth Encore worsted weight, and I love it. It's soft, it's going to be easy to care for, and it's called the Button Yoke Cardi by Sandy Prosser. And I'm using the size needle recommended. And let me tell you about needles, folks. I'm trying to use fucking Knit Picks needles, but so far, 2 cables of my own I've used, they have broken. Just popped right out of the insert that was right here. Not this. This is fine, sorta. But this is fucked up. Now, this is actually someone who was very kind to me. Don't know if she watches, but thank you, Mary. She actually had an interchangeable set, and she lent me her cable, or else I would have had to stop knitting. I'm not pleased with the quality of the cable in this sweater. I'm pissed. and it's a gift from several years ago, so I doubt Nitpicks is gonna say, oh sure, we'll send it to you. Assholes. My life has been a customer service nightmare, can you tell? Drama. Not really. Anyway, I've been holding steady. I'm learning the moss stitch properly, and the good news about it is I've started my second skein. So I feel like that makes me, it gives me a feeling of accomplishment that I've worked this much on it. Now, about gauge, I could be totally fucking wrong on gauge. I knit like an inch worth of a gauge swatch and then said, looks fine to me, whatever. I usually get gauge, so I'm not terribly worried, and I'm pleased with how the fabric looks. So, onward and upward, right? It is a bottom-up sweater. And I wanted to point out, I don't know if I have yet, this is my fine ass slip stitch Studios bag, and she used this adorable fabric for Doctor Who. Now where is he? Look at the 10th Doctor. He's so freaking cute and frowny. I do love this one. It's my favorite bag, I think. And it is awesome for carrying a size 1X sweater in. So that's that. Now, I made a tiny bit of progress on my blurred line sock. Let me get her name. I feel so lame because you don't see a lot of podcasters look at their notes, but I'm sure they do. And this is by Megan Williams, who is of Stuck in It Zombies, and she is a very sweet lady. And their podcast usually has kitties in it, so can't go wrong there. And I just started with one stripe. So the gray stripe started, and I've started the patterning. And so, anyway, let's change this around. I think it's going to match nicely. Of course, who the hell can tell at this early stage in the game? You know, it's not going to be bothering me much. I'm just happy to be knitting socks. And this is the Simply Sock Yarn Post Yarn. It was a skein that the owner had given to me because she said a fan had seen my program and liked it. And so, yay. Thank you, Miss Simply Socks Yarn lady. I'm using it, and the colors are wonderful. And the yarn looks very sturdy and good for socks. So I just barely started a shawl, so I'm not really going to show it because I didn't dig it out. But I plan on making some progress on Osway. Let me see if I can figure out who. Tyga Hillard Designs. I bought this pattern, and then I bought Martha Stewart's roving with it in mind, and then I found out that the roving is bulky, not super bulky. So I'm just gonna chug along. I might rip it out and do a different needle size to make the fabric look better. It's kind of up in the air right now. I do like the yarn. It is puffy and soft. So we'll see. I'm on the fence about keeping it or not. Fingered right. Chocolatey beer drink. Anyway. So that's it. That's all my plans that I'm working on. As I said, I didn't knit at all yesterday. I was in a bad way, and I wasn't feeling myself. Shit happens. I apologize for doing this a day late. Boo! That's about it for works in progress. Let's go on to stuff and junk, seeing as I haven't touched my spinning wheel in months. Now, let's see. I got the latest piecework. And it's the red issue. And I was very perplexed when I brought this to a quiet corner, and I said, what the fuck is the red issue? Is this for heart health now? But evidently it's about it's all about the history of red fabric and all that, and it's got some really pretty things and I kind of like the embroidery and the cross-stitch stuff that they've got this time around. I'm not sure if I can stitch any of it. The shawl, while interesting, is just... There it is. Now you can see it. Or not. But anyway, it's inspired by Egypt. I'll believe you. I think that the gloves by Carol Rhodes are just gorgeous. Look at that. Sorry for the glare, but those are so pretty. And the bread cloth to embroider is also very attractive. It would look really nice on the edge of a dishcloth, don't you think? Oh, and it's got an adorable twin set. I must admit, my mom is a big fan of the twin set, but she's afraid I might use wool, which is my want. And it's got the history, well, the birth of the twin set, how red yarns are dyed, and yes, it does have the knit red, stitch red for women's heart health in the review section. So anyway, what it's got events and everything. And the reason I love this magazine is not only the vintage or historical projects it gives you, but it's the stories behind the projects that they show. And I find that information fascinating. I have a feeling I will be a subscriber of this issue for a long time. So, and unfortunately now they have this gorgeous book recommendation. Like, I need to spend more money on books. Maybe I do, I don't know. But anyway, piecework, the red issue, interesting. Not necessarily going to be a favorite issue, but it will certainly be poured over and read by me with appreciation for the history of needlework arts. Now, what have I been watching? Not much. As a matter of fact, I am trying to remember if I've watched any movies while stitching. And the only thing that comes to mind is I recently purchased, I'm trying to get into sewing. So, my dad purchased some wonderful adult school classes in sewing, beyond the very basics, but still I'll be able to learn something, I hope. And then, as a birthday gift to myself, I bought sewing Craftsy class, which was like 40% off or something, and it's called Tailoring Ready-Made Clothing, ready-made or off-the-hanger clothing, so that you could hem pants or shirts or skirts or jackets or whatever. So I purchased that, and hopefully I'll be getting into more sewing. I'm really intrigued by it, and I want to do it even though I want to keep knitting. Like there's nothing else to do in the world. I'd rather keep knitting. But I want to expand my apocalyptic skills into making clothing. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I've also got some awesome Días de los Muertos fabric that I want to make into some project bags. So, we'll see. So, only thing I've been watching is a craftsy class. And the teacher really seems neat. She showed a block of wood as a pressing tool, and I just sat there looking at it like, looks like a lousy piece of sanded 2x4. And people sell it for $15 to $30. I think I'll just go to the lumber store and ask for some scrap wood. Thank you. Anyway, that's it for now. What did I unfuck around the house? I donated some clothing that I no longer work, and that I no longer wear. Nothing handmade. And then I just did basic stuff like some vacuuming, making sure that when one of the cats heaves, I don't leave it. And just taking care of my cats in general. That's about all the unfucking I did. Not a ton, a little bit. Some of my craft supplies have been put away. Clearly not all. Oh, what else is there? I don't exercise. I haven't ridden a horse in ages. Over a year now, which is sad because I love horses so. And, well, I think I'm going to leave it there. Anyway, I want to thank you, whether you've been watching the show since episode 1, when I was able to get it on fucking iTunes, or you're just starting to watch the show now. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you liked the show enough to subscribe, which is on probably here. So click that subscribe button. You'll be notified whenever I upload a video. Don't worry, it won't be anything gross. And usually a cat video if I post anything that's not Twisted Strands. So there you go. So anyway, I just want to thank you so much for joining me and sticking with me if you have. Don't forget there is a blog. I might be putting up show notes someday soon. I don't know. But on the blog you can find all the episodes, I hope. And you can also find a donate button if you choose to donate. I get no money from anybody except for maybe YouTube ads, but not exactly a cash cow, if you know what I mean. So if it behooves you to tip me, please do. And I thank you for that too. And wow, that's feel free to find me on Ravelry, which is my favorite playground, and that is where the group for Twisted Strands is, and that is Twisted Strands Podcast. I'm Jadee, or Jeannie, your host, and the rest of my contact information you can find at the ending credit, which will be when the screen goes black. And I just want to leave you one parting thought, that whenever you're doing crafts, no matter what materials you're using or what you're making, from the finest lace shawl to toilet paper owls, you're making the world a more beautiful place, and for that, I thank you. Bye now.